and start casting.
All right, we have
Radiant team.
game number 1 between Team Pussywagon and No Promises. This is a PST Friday versus PST Sunday matchup. It's a best of 3, and let's see what happens. Joining me is my teammates Murdercat and Camero. You guys say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
5 seconds.
We're boring.
Oh, all right. Well,
Reserve time.
all of us have experience playing against Team Pussywagon, but not much against No Promises.
In fact, I would say not at all.
Not at all. But we are playing against them. Well, we're playing against the winner of this match, so it'll be exciting to see what they do. We'll be doing some scouting, but mostly trying to cast for you guys.
We've got this Timbersaw ban, which is pretty strong. He's been pretty good lately. Just tough to deal with.
Mm-hmm. And on the side of Pussywagon, we have a Alchemist ban.
Seconds to go.
Not sure if these teams have done homework on each other or not.
5 seconds.
But these are usually early bans anyway, so
Reserve
nothing
time.
out of the ordinary.
A lot of people seem to think that Alchemist is kind of fallen off as a first pick ban, but he's still pretty strong.
Okay, and now we see a Bristleback ban.
Guillotine ban.
I believe that Team Pussywagon does have a tendency to run Bristleback, so this might be due to some homework.
If I may speak in really quick, Alchemist's ban pick rate before the last patch was definitely above 90%, and with this patch, it's currently fallen to 32%.
I see.
That's a pretty strong correlation.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Let me bring down the volume a little bit.
Radiant pick.
GD Studio may have a stats man, but do they have a stats cam?
Nice one.
That's why we pay you.
Alright, so it seemed like No Promises is up to go with the first pick, and let's see what they take with this first pick. Any first picks do you think are good for this?
Well, interestingly enough, the top 3 most picked heroes in this patch, or most, yeah, I guess I should go most picked.
5 seconds.
Are?
Ones that are still available are Luna, Nyx, and Mirana.
I see. Oh, they go with the Death Prophet.
Oh god. I feel like they telegraphed their plan already.
You think so? Let's see how Team Pussywagon will respond.
Bristleback and Timbersaw are real good for that anti-push.
Mm-hmm.
I would wonder if Team Pussywagon would be playing towards the meta. Right now, obviously, we're kind of in a weird meta where Invoker has risen in prominence, and Nyx is actually second on ban pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Nyx would be excellent here against the Death Prophet, at least for, and also just a solid pick in general.
Yeah. Also, typically you don't want to pick your mid hero first, which Death Prophet's almost exclusively mid, because that allows the other team to counter pick really quickly, or easily rather, since it's going to be most likely a one-on-one matchup. So who do you think are some good counter picks? Oh, there we go.
That'll do it.
That will do it. That's Sweet Kissing is the mid player for Team Pussywagon. It looks like they opted to go with the Outworld Devourer. I have trouble pronouncing that, so from now on we'll be referred to as OD.
I wonder if maybe they baited that pick. They could try running Death Prophet in like safe lane and then just run Razor mid or something.
That is interesting. Yep.
Radiance pick.
OD has fallen quite a bit in pick and ban rate, but still a very good hero. The main reason he's been falling, though, is because of the amount of counters that are prevalent right now, especially the Pugna, who has also fallen off, and more importantly, the Nyx. So we'll see if that's where No Promises wants to go with their team here.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Pugna here either.
The Pugna seems to fit their lineup a little bit better, but
Pugna is very strong against OD because that Nether Ward does a lot of damage if he keeps the ward. Oh, they go with the Viper, which is also a good matchup for OD. So perhaps Death Prophet going to be the hard carry.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I don't know how much I like that.
Yeah,
it does kind of force No Promises hands and picks, though.
Although what they could do is put Death Prophet as a solo safe lane, so he can get levels and be
5 seconds.
and be protected against the OD. What do you guys think?
Potentially.
I think it's going to
Reserve
be
time.
either they're going to put Death Prophet solo or they're going to put her in the tri-lane, and either way, drafting like an aggressive tri-lane is probably going to be better.
Mhm.
I think they're probably going to be looking more to leave her solo and go for an aggressive tri-lane. Again, I, as well as you guys, probably have no idea how No Promises plays. I would be interested to see how they draft this, especially if the Lich, see if that affects their considerations here.
Ban.
Maybe thinking about dual lanes from the Lich, maybe not, we'll see.
Perhaps.
No Weavers, apparently. Everyone hates Weaver.
Well, I mean,
What I would
Weaver
really-
is quite a problem for Viper
10
since you don't have any
seconds to
lockdown.
go.
You can just get max movement speed if you try to slow him down. So
5
it's not a
seconds.
surprise that they banned the Weaver.
I'm a little surprised. I
Reserve
feel like with the
time.
Death Prophet, they could have had enough to deal with them, not to mention 3 more picks.
Mhm.
What I would really like to see here from TPW is an Invoker pick. Invoker's just got such good disengage right now, and I think it'd be pretty valuable. Looks like they went with Clockwork, though.
Radiance ban.
You mean an Invoker ban?
No, I would like to see an Invoker pick from Pussy
Oh.
Wagon.
Well, they ban out
I would
the...
like to see a ban if they're not going to pick him, because I think it'd be a great initiate for No Promises at this point.
I see.
Where do you think they should put the OD then?
It's weird
10
because, again, they've kind of
seconds
forced
to
their own
go.
hand here, but with the Viper pick, they already know they're probably not going to get that matchup they were looking
Dyer's
for anyway,
ban.
so maybe consider sending him to match up with the safe lane, but then you're metagaming yourselves, so you gotta
Yeah.
worry about that.
Early wards to tell you what the lineup's going to be.
So, No Promises bans out the Elder Titan, which is good for bursting heroes down.
10 seconds to
Um,
go.
It, I guess, I
5
mean, that's
seconds.
to protect Death Prophet, but maybe they just don't want to play against the Elder Titan. I don't remember
Reserve time.
Team Pussy Wagon ever playing an Elder Titan against us, do you?
No, I don't remember it.
Nope, I do not believe they ever did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am afraid to
Dyer's
press
ban.
buttons on the off chance I crash, so I will not confirm that, but I'm pretty sure we did not see one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got
So-
a lion ban. I don't
so-
know what that's about.
Well,
There's a lot of good supports out there. It's not like this one's
Yeah.
particularly good for, pushing.
that is true. I mean, I also noticed
10
that there's no
seconds to
Visage pick. Maybe they scouted each other out and found that
5
neither team
seconds.
plays Visage. It's normally a really strong pick, even with all the nerfs in recent patches.
I speak for the
And
team.
they go with the Nature's Prophet.
Radiant.
Very strong.
Oh.
Straight late game split pusher. Pretty annoying. But
Gotta
do you
That
go
think
definitely
with
it's...
explains.
Mhm.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, it definitely explains the Clockwork ban.
That is true. That is true. Although, do you think picking a Nature's Prophet is wise against what seems to be an early game focused lineup from No Promises?
I think so, and the more important thing is if they
10
make it through the
seconds
early
to go.
game, which I'm not quite sure No Promises is really going to early game right now.
5
We'll see with this
seconds.
next pick where they're going to go, but
Mhm.
I feel like Nature's Prophet works very well, especially considering a lot of the other heroes that are
Reserve
against him
time.
are going to be very awkward to pick without running a defensive try with Death Prophet.
And they go with the Dazzle. Cam, I know he's one of your
Okay.
favorite heroes. Could you shed light on how this might work with their lineup?
So Dazzle is kind of interesting here. The main thing about Dazzle is the massive armor thing, and also the fact that you can grave, and also the fact that you have massive physical damage, and
Mhm.
finally the fact that you have a very good disable. And none of those seem good here. So I'm a little confused, to be completely honest. The
10
grave's not
seconds
super
to
good,
go.
especially when they can banish anyone who gets graved if they want to kill them.
Mhm.
5
The massive
seconds.
damage is going to be pretty good counter push into Furion. I mean, that's a good thing here, is Dazzle does have quite a bit
Reserve
of push
time.
power. So if they're going for the early game lineup, Dazzle does fit well as a very strong push support,
Well, what about...
especially with the CM band out.
I mean, you mentioned that it's all physical damage, right? And Death Prophet and Viper primarily deal physical damage because DP's ult is
That's-
physical.
That is true.
And if
But
they
Nether
want to
Toxin-
extend fights... Oh, Nether Toxin is not?
No. Oh, it
Okay.
is physical. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Alright, so... yeah, if they want to extend fights because to keep DP and Viper alive, to keep controlling their team, you can
Radiance
you can keep healing and you can keep Grave up. You don't really want to banish the Death Prophet because it just means that his ghosts are going to be flying around and you can't hurt him. So I think it fights the lineup quite well.
I will agree with that. The one thing I'm a little surprised about the Sand King pick. I
Mhm.
do think Sand King's a very good hero, but
Mhm.
again, like against the
10
Grave, and not
seconds
to
to
mention
go.
the amount of health that most of those heroes have outside of Dazzle, I think it's a
5
little sketchy.
seconds.
I
Vengeful
like it
Spirit.
here because
All right, so this is pretty
Dyer's
clear.
ban.
All right.
Sand King is going to be able to stall pretty much all of these pushes, and that's exactly what Nature's Prophet needs, so that he can rat.
When you say stall, do you mean just like sandstorm in the middle of a push? Because
Yeah, just
that
like take out all the creeps.
10
I'm not so
seconds
sure you want to
go.
do that with Sand King. It's pretty dangerous. I'm not a support player, so Cam, like, how would you play Sand King against
So-
this pushing lineup?
No Promises has definitely been doing their meta homework here.
Mhm.
Currently, right now, minus armor is very valued,
Mhm.
and they've gone with two of the best minus armor supports in the game right now, Vengeful Spirit and Dazzle. One of those will probably be picking up a medallion, at which point
10
Team Pussy Wagon is going to
seconds to
melt. A
go.
lot of the heroes are very squishy and very easy to kill. I'm a little
5
worried here.
seconds.
I'm not sure what they can really pick right here, because right now they need somebody with either carry
Reserve
potential or
time.
another early game.
So
I
they-
don't think Void was the right
Dyer's
choice, but
Is it? Yeah, Team Pussy Wagon is missing their carry hero, so what do you think would fit into the lineup? And also, we've played against them quite a bit, so who do you think they're going to pick here?
I think
We know
Close
they-
is good.
we know they like Gyro, but I don't feel Gyro fits in here. It's very awkward because they need somebody. I would almost like to
10
see a
seconds.
Slardar, although I feel that's a little awkward with their team. So, I mean, if Huron's going jungle,
Mhm.
then things are different because that way they're going to have like a Sand King lane. I don't know how they lane this. I think
I
I'll have
see.
to see the lanes here.
Okay, we'll just. Also, any carry with a spammable spell also works quite well with OD. So perhaps something like a Phantom Lancer.
I think the Phantom Lancer is going to be really greedy because you got to remember, like whatever carry they pick is going to lose a lot of armor.
They
Like-
haven't banned the Life Stealer either, which is
10
fairly strong
seconds
early
to
game. And they go with the Anti-Mage. What do you feel about?
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
I like it in a weird way because Image is going to melt in fights, but if he melts the other people faster, like Pussy Wagon is completely throwing their hands into the tempo pool, and this game's going to be decided by whoever has that tempo. If Pussy Wagon can get that tempo early with the Animage and get that Battle Fury up and get the damage up before Death Prophet and Viper are online, then No Promises is going to be in a lot of trouble. But I feel like that's going to be a
10
lot harder of a
seconds to
strategy
go.
for Team Pussy Wagon to pull off than No Promises. I feel like No Promises
5
strategy is currently
seconds.
better,
Mhm.
and I feel like they've got a lot of counter push and definitely ways to shut down the Animage.
And they go with the
Ooh.
Storm Spirit. Okay, so how do you feel like they're going to lane this?
Storm cannot be mid. He's not going to be OD. He cannot be matched up with OD.
Mhm.
Death Prophet can also not be matched up with OD. Assuming OD is mid, if you're thinking No Promises thinks they're going to be mid, that's going to be a Viper mid, probably a Solo Storm safe lane, and then an aggressive try with the Draft Prophet.
All right, so let's introduce the teams. Murdercat, do you want to introduce the Radiant?
Sure,
I'd
on
get
the
ready
Radiant,
if
we've
I
got
were you.
Truck Waffle, the captain, playing Death Prophet. We've got Quintessence playing the Viper. We've got Stormageddon on the Dazzle. Phones is playing Vengeful Spirit, and on the Storm Spirit, we have Sasuke Boy 43.
All right, Cam, would you like to introduce the Dire?
Sure. We
Cam,
have-
your open mic isn't on.
I'm talking right now.
Okay. I'm not sure if I
know
see you on
pushed
Dota
off
TV.
I see myself talking currently. Do I need to change a setting?
Maybe.
Alright, let's try that. See, is that working?
Keep talking.
Yes, yes, no, maybe talking? Maybe
I
working?
don't see your
30
icon on the bottom
seconds
right.
to battle.
All right. Well, I'll introduce the Dire. Actually, we might see some action going on. Phones is a bit far up, trying to plan a ward. They didn't go for it. All right. So
Alright, how's that working out?
yep, it's working now. All right. So go ahead and introduce the Dire. Oh, well, all right. So now I'll do it then. We have Fiery Snake on the
Sorry,
Anti-Mage. We have Sandshrew on the Lich. Switching lanes on the off-lane Furion. We have Sweet Kissing, the mid player on OD. And we have Mothballs, the captain, on Sand King.